There was a guy who lived where I lived when I was younger, an engineer called Frank Shillito, a real engineer. The kind of guy who does odd jobs for farmers and other people who can't do their own bits of engineering and welding. And he had a contraption, a bit like this, but an awful lot smaller. Oxyacetylene burner. And he's had a clockwork motor and a track, and I thought it was a wonderful piece of equipment, and he ran it like an expert. Well, he was an expert. When a piece of inch plate had been cut by Frank, it looked like it had been cut with a hacksaw. Anyway, I thought one day I'm going to have one of those, and I started to make one 2 or 3 times, then life gets in the way and it doesn't happen. And a couple of years ago I was at the collective sale at the cattle market and this thing was there. I bought it for a tenner. It's got the burner, various adjustments. You can turn it on, it's got a clutch, forward and reverse, speed control, cracking thing. There it was chucking itself up on its own flexes. Anyway, the guy who was selling it sidled up to me afterwards and said, "You know that thing you've just bought?" He said, "What is it? Have you any idea what it's worth?" Well, I said, "I haven't a clue, I just bought it for bits and pieces. I didn't want to upset him." And I've never needed it, and now I have a plasma cutter. And I've been on YouTube and seen these plasma cutting tracks, so I'm going to convert this thing to carry my plasma cutter head. Now, since yesterday, my assistant, Wee John, and myself have replaced the original cutter holder and cutter with this contraption, which is lower down and has 3 screws which lock into the ceramic cup of the plasma cutter torch. That thing there. And we've also made this bit of track out of some of that ghastly plywood that they stick on bathroom walls nowadays, and it trundles up and down quite nicely. Hey, look at that! Well, I've had quite a good look at this thing now, and it is quite sophisticated. You can undo the pinch screw and adjust the cutting angle like that. You can raise and lower the cutting head with that adjuster, and you can do parallel adjustments like that. There's a great big heavy weight on this side for a counterbalance, and this shaft can be moved up and down to suit. And on the back side, it turns out that you can move these wheels out of the way and run it on that caster for doing hand-guided cuts, and with a trammel bar for doing circles. And on the other side of the machine there's a screw clutch there for one of the wheels, so that you only get drive off one wheel, again presumably for cutting circles if you fix trammel bars to these threaded holes. So that is going to be a jolly useful piece of kit. And of course I'm keeping the gas cutting head for it, just in case I ever want to cut anything thick.